Welcome, everybody, to Taking Control, the ADHD podcast on Rash Pixel FM. I'm the birthday boy.
Yes, happy birthday.
I'm here with Nikki Kinzer.
Hello, Pete Wright.
That wasn't an exuberant enough hello for my birthday, this national holiday.
Happy birthday.
We go. That's what I'm talking about.
But actually, it's past your birthday.
Yes, I know, because my birthday has passed, but we're recording this a little bit early so that I can have my birthday off, and I have much gratitude to you for being flexible in your schedule and for even suggesting that we should do this, because I didn't come up with it. It is a wonderful gift that you have given me. Happy birthday to me.
That's right.
But we're not going to be talking about my birthday. We are going to be talking about gratitude, in fact.
Yes, because it's the week of Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, well, mostly my birthday, but
I know.
Sorry, what were we talking about?
That's right. It's Thanksgiving. It's the week of Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Also.
So, great idea to focus on gratitude, right?
Yes. It's about time.
Yeah, right. Well, I hope that people aren't just focusing on gratitude only at Thanksgiving or on their birthday.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Hopefully you're doing it all the time.
That's right. And we should. And so before we dig into these thoughts about gratitude, I'm excited to hear your thoughts about this. Before we do that, head over to takecontroladhd.com, learn a little bit more about us, subscribe to the show for free. You can jump into iTunes and do that straight off the website, or you can just listen to us on the website. It's right there, always on. Connect with us on Twitter or Facebook at Take Control ADHD, and call us at 503-664-4ADD. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for all your kind words and comments. We have much gratitude.
We do. Much gratitude.
Right.
Quick reminder for those folks out there listening, too, that the group coaching is actually open now. I want to make sure that I throw that out there so people can go to the website. And those new sessions will start in January. So that's
true. So you've got a little time, but don't. There are also not very many seats.
Right. It's a little bit more limited this time. So,
right.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Gratitude.
Tell me about gratitude.
Well, I thought when I was pre-planning, like, what are we going to talk about for the holidays? And here came this week of Thanksgiving, and it just made sense to focus on gratitude. But I'm also thinking that, the holidays, as we've already discussed, can be stressful, and we can sometimes lose focus on what's most important because we just get so caught up in that hamster wheel, right? Everything's chaotic, everything's urgent. We get busy. This is especially true for myself recently. Anxiety has definitely got the best of me, overwhelmed with these busy schedules with work and my kids' sports schedules. There's always a practice and a game, and then these parenting issues, Pete, right, are taking a lot of my attention, which is good because I'm a parent. So that's part of the job. But it's also this show is very timely for me because it's a great reminder for me to just kind of take a step back, breathe, be thankful for today, be thankful for what's going on right now. And the power of gratitude is so truly life-changing if you practice it. And it's so easy to do if you're paying attention, right?
Yeah.
And so, just a few things that I want to talk about today is just by simply shifting our attention to what's positive rather than what's negative, can really make a big difference on how we kind of view our world. And it's not just paying attention to the big things, but the little things, the little details in our lives that actually, really make the bigger things, even bigger. I mean, it's those little things that we want to pay attention to.
All right.
Yeah.
So tell me about the little things.
The little things. Well, gosh, I think that part of it, again, is that shift of thinking. If you start to go down that rabbit hole of negative thinking, to kind of stop yourself and think, okay, what's positive right now? What am I grateful for? And you can actually start to feel the change. I feel it in my spirit. I can feel it in my body. My attitude is better. And then I think that something that happens is when those bad thoughts start to kind of be replaced with more encouraging ones, you kind of see that, okay, whatever's going on is going to pass and I can get through this. You get a little bit more confidence that, okay, this is going to be okay. What am I learning from this experience? You're able to kind of go through it a little bit better. I also think that when you practice gratitude, you're living more in the present because it's that reminder that you're focusing on just where you are right now and you're not worrying about what's happening in the future or dwelling on what's going on in the past. Some of the things that I see, when people practice gratitude is they are just happier people. They're more positive. They have more, positive energy around them. They're more at peace, with their life. Who doesn't want that, right? Mm-hmm. Again, more confident, and they can be a better friend, a better spouse, a better parent. And I'm sure that, people listening to this can add to the list. But gratitude, it matters. And that's what I want people to just be reminded of during this like crazy holiday season.
You know what I think it is for me that I think it's worth talking about? And it's a time not just to be aware of, are we being gracious, right? Are we just gracious of spirit and heart? Yeah. But are we aware of the triggers that cause us to be otherwise? Because that for me is the other end of this conversation, which is, I can want to be gracious and feel that shift, but there are obvious things, impacts upon me in the world that affect the way I'm able to be gracious, and they cause me to forget to be gracious, right? There are things like those little triggers. It may be road rage. It may, somebody who cuts me off, right? I'm not naturally a road ragey person, and I'm certainly much better at it than I was when I was younger lad. Mm-hmm. But today, I still find, if somebody cuts me off or if I let somebody in a heavy traffic and I slow down and let somebody squeeze over so they can make an exit, I still find a little bit if they don't if they don't give me a wave, I get kind of riled up. Yeah, Yeah. So I have been trying very hard to be more aware of the things that cause me to forget to be gracious. And the fact is, it is an act of grace to even stop and let somebody over, and I can be satisfied by that. I can let that fill my cup, whether or not they respond. Because the truth of the matter is, grace is found within us, right? It doesn't. Mm-hmm. You don't necessarily have to find it elsewhere. But the triggers are important to be aware of because we all have them.
I agree. And awareness, right? Like you're saying, knowing those triggers so that you can almost, I think when you're aware of them, you can kind of stop them before they get out of hand. Yeah. You can kind of take that pause, that moment to be like, okay, yes, that's irritating to me, but you know what? I'm happy today and I'm going to let that go.
So what are the practices that you recommend for folks to really start to be more aware and to be more cognizant of the things that not only where they're triggered, but how they overcome those things?
Well, I realize I didn't answer your question when you said, what are the little things? And I think that that's probably what you're also asking here. And I think it's paying attention to those little things. So for example, I think it's I can give you an example of what I did for a teacher. I had gotten an email from a teacher at my son's school, and it was very clear to me that she cared a lot about her students by what she was saying. So I sent her an email and I just said, hey, I just really appreciate your approach to these students. It's obvious that you care about them very much. And as a parent, I really appreciate that. Thank you. And I sent that to her. She sent back an email and said thank you and everything. I hope that made her day. I hope that she was able to, put that little nugget in her head and have just even more of a meaningful relationship with these kids. So I think it's practicing gratitude, not only mentally, but also telling people what you think of them and how they help you. And as parents, I think it's really important as we raise our children that we express our own gratitude, not only towards them, but that they see us doing it to other people too. So again, another example is if you go out to dinner and a waitress or a waiter is really great, that you comment on how great their service was, and your parent or your kids actually, are a part of that conversation, and they see that you tip them a little bit more that evening. I mean, they're seeing that. Teaching your kids that, when somebody holds the door for you, that you look them in the eye and you say thank you, and then you make sure that you do that for somebody else. I had this teaching moment with my daughter not very long ago where she did it. She did it to me where she opened the door, but she didn't hold it open for me. So it practically slammed in my face. I was like, wait a minute, we're going to do this over again. And I actually stopped her. We were in a restaurant. And I had her redo it. I was like, this is how you open a door, and you make sure that whoever's behind you walks in first. You know, you're going to open the door, you're going to hold the door, and you're going to let that person, go by.
Yeah.
I had to teach her that because instinctively it didn't come to her, and that's okay. But I'm hoping that now it does. And so I think it's just teaching your kids by example. But I also think that it's telling them thank you, because, there's things that we expect from them, right? We expect them to do their chores. We expect them to get ready in the morning, all that stuff. But we kind of sometimes, at least me, I will forget to say thank you because it's just an expectation. But when they hear you say thank you for doing such a great job with taking the trash out, thank you for doing the dishes today, thank you for, being on time at school, then they start to say thank you to you. And I've seen it where I'll make dinner and they'll thank me for making dinner. And it's like, wow, awesome, right? Because to me, that's an expectation that one parent, either me or my husband, are going to be making them dinner, right? That's part of her job. But just to have them say thank you to me means a lot to me. So I can only imagine what in return it means to them. So I think it's not only, again, not just mentally being grateful, but really living it and expressing it and, all around you. Because I think like anything, positive energy spreads, so does gratitude. Gratitude will spread if that's what you are living.
Absolutely.
I know that there are people that do like the gratitude journals and they'll say that, oh my gosh, this is like the best thing. But I also know that some people with ADHD, it's very hard to be consistent with that. And so I think that it's just that mental journal that can make a big difference too. So if you don't have the time or the patience to actually write things down, just having that intention that every morning you're going to wake up and you're going to be grateful, you're going to act you're going to act out your appreciation for people, and you just kind of go in with that intention. And then at the end of the day, either through prayer or meditation or just, some time to yourself, think about the things you're grateful for. That can make a big, huge difference.
Oh, I like that a lot. I think that's a really important, when you talk about kind of the daily practice, whether you write it, whether for me, we've talked about my love of day one. I use the audio recorder on day one, and I just record myself, when I find myself, and I do it. I don't do a gratitude journal, right? I don't say all the things I'm grateful for, but I do reflect on the experiences around triggers a lot. Because I think just writing down, the act of writing down or recording my thoughts when I am triggered makes me less likely to be triggered on those same issues later. And that I think is really important, and that just gives me a greater sense of peace. And I think that, at least for me, has become really important. And so it's maybe worth considering as you recommend these daily practices.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like that. So, I would just want to leave people with kind of this last thought that as we go into the holiday season, of course, we are going into Thanksgiving, which is supposed to be about, being grateful and all of that, and being with friends and family, that, that we take that time to practice gratitude, that we accept our situation as it is, embrace it. And, hopefully we become better people for it, and our children can express gratitude. And, we're hoping for peace in this world, right, Pete?
Change the world.
Change the world. But gosh, it starts with you. So it's a good reminder, I think.
I do too. What a great little meditation. Well done, Nikki Kinzer.
Well, thank you, Pete.
I'm grateful for you.
Well, I'm grateful for you, my friend.
Oh, hallelujah. And doubly grateful for everybody who downloads and listens to this show. Thank you so much for being a part of the community, for writing in and sharing your thoughts. We'd love to hear more. How do you embrace grace? Join the conversation on Twitter or Facebook. That's where the comments go. And let us know. What does it mean to be grateful? And to express gratitude in your life this holiday season and beyond. So, on behalf of Nikki Kinzer, I'm Pete Wright, and we will catch you next week on Taking Control, the ADHD podcast.